this week. And welcome to Exiting the Huddle with Dan and Jacob.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Jacob. It doesn't work the other way around. We tried. It didn't work. It was an odd pause.
There was an odd pause. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Jacob was
Sign
all like, hey, I want to do it now.
Sign into the chat. What does that mean? Huh.
I don't know. But
We
anyway,
might be live. We might not be.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. Hey, Chris. Look and see if we're live.
I don't have a notification yet. Oh, there it is.
Are we live? Just say something random.
Type in the chat for me.
We may have some technical difficulties.
I'm not sure if we have technical difficulties. I think that was just to sign in to chat. Like we can chat with them. We have a viewer. Hey. Can you hear us?
Are there spirits with us? Yes.
Yes. All right. So welcome into this week's Exiting the Huddle, Dan Jacob. We got a lot to talk about. I want to talk about a few pressing matters first. Conference championship weekend. So we had.
I got a big thing real quick that
Okay.
I'm a little upset about.
All right.
So from my understanding, and I'm sure we're gonna get into this, but I just want to address this. I thought if you won one of the Power Four conference titles, automatic playoff berth.
We're gonna get into that.
So we're gonna get into that, but
We are definitely gonna get into that.
if you know, you know.
So let's start with the SEC. Actually, no, we'll start with the Friday games. So the American Championship was between North Texas and Tulane won by 13, 34-21.
I think we.
We both called.
I thought we wanted North Texas.
No, I said North Texas. I think you said Tulane.
Yeah.
And then we had the Sun Belt Championship where James Madison played Troy and absolutely stomped them, 31-14.
And we called that one.
We did call that one. And then we're going to go into the SEC Championship game.
Wasn't much of a game until the fourth quarter for one team.
Did you know that Alabama didn't cross the 50 for 3 quarters?
Yep. I saw
That
I saw a thing, and it was supposed to be Nick Saban talking to Kellen DeBoer, and he's like, "Here's 4 quarters." He gave him like $1 in quarters. He's like, "What is that?" He's like, because you didn't cross the 50 until the fourth quarter." I was like, "Shit."
And then the Big 12 Championship between Texas Tech and BYU. It ended just like it did when BYU played Texas Tech during the regular season.
Texas Tech is a different animal.
Yeah.
I would not honestly want to play Texas Tech in the CFB.
Me either. And then we go into the ACC. And just like we said a little bit ago, if you know, you know. Duke upsets Virginia 27-20 in overtime.
And doesn't get a playoff bid. Actually, only one team from the ACC got a playoff bid, and I'm still upset about that, but we'll get into that.
And then the disappointment that was the Big Ten Championship game. Indiana 13, Ohio State 10.
Yeah, I'd rather lose there than the next few games.
It was disappointing. I'm going to get into that game in a few minutes. I want to go back to the Duke-Virginia game.
Duke's mayonnaise.
Duke, as a 8-5 team now, didn't make the playoff. That's obvious. Last year, a 9-3 Alabama did not make it. This year, a 10-3 Alabama makes it. There's supposed to be automatic bids for all conference winners between the all Power 5 school or Power 4 schools now. And it's disappointing that the College Football Playoff Committee punishes Duke for upsetting Virginia. If Virginia wins, they're in, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
The Virginia wins, they're in. But if it shouldn't matter if say your conference has one really good program, like let's use Big 12 for example. Hypothetically speaking, let's say you have an 11-1 Texas Tech, and they play a 7-5 Iowa State. We'll just use a random school.
Okay.
Iowa State upsets Texas Tech. Iowa State, then there should also be in the bracket, because that's how the rules were laid down, at least to my understanding. Like, if you're gonna put rules down, go by the fucking rules. It's like the speed limit. You know, if you're driving down the highway, it says 70 and you're going 75 and you get pulled over,
It's your fault.
you're speeding. But if you get passed by somebody and you get pulled over and they're going 90 and you're going 70.
I don't think I'm allowed to show you on camera what I'm drinking, but I'm drinking a Cherry Blossom Lime Boulevard.
We do what we want.
It is tasty.
If you haven't had them, they're also local to Kansas City, where we call home. And they're nice
Pretty
and
sure you
refreshing.
can get it anywhere that touches Kansas or Missouri.
I'm pretty sure you can get them anywhere now, because I'm pretty sure they distribute everywhere.
Okay.
But
Yeah, those are delicious.
it tastes exactly like a cherry limeade.
Yeah.
Not quite as like cherry as like if you go to Sonic or something, but
Just enough.
just enough cherry,
Just
just enough lime, and it's just nice and refreshing. They're really good in the summer, but they're a staple here.
Good to drink on a hot summer day.
Hot summer day on a hot summer sidewalk.
Whoa. Thought that was reserved for me. Thanks.
Hot summer
Ass.
sidewalk. Swamp ass.
But let's go ahead and talk about the SEC championship game. I'm not going to talk about the Big 12 because at this point we all knew it was going to happen.
I saw an interesting thing that it said that they're backed by a billionaire, and it's kind of like KU.
Okay.
So they had a shitload of NIL money. So, you know, it's weird. You pay all these players this money, and you're in a conference.
It's kind of like the SEC was doing that for years.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not allowed to talk like that. But anyway, the SEC championship game was
I mean, we don't get paid to do this. We can say anything we want
That's fair.
within reason.
But Alabama absolutely shits the bed against Georgia. Didn't make it across the 50-yard line for 3 quarters, and then struggled in the 4th quarter to score 7 points. Didn't see that coming. I thought that was going to be a lot closer game than what it was.
I thought it was going to be, honestly, like the Big Ten Championship, like low scoring.
Low scoring like 17-14, 14-10. Yeah.
And if there's anything, if that shows you if, like, either Georgia's better than we thought they were or Alabama's worse than we thought they were.
Well, Alabama's last 2 games, they're not the Alabama of the previous 9.
I'm okay with that.
And then we get into the Big Ten championship game, which I have a lot of feelings about. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch. So here it is. Ohio State goes into the Big Ten championship game against Indiana.
Which is basically a home game for Indiana.
We're gonna get to that in a minute.
They got a party with blue.
We're gonna talk about that in a minute. And fun fact, I went back and looked at the tape. Kenyatta Jackson, for Ohio State defensive lineman, was held on 71% of his plays that he was in. 71%.
Well, they
One so bad that the offensive lineman had his bottom half, and another offensive lineman had him by the throat.
I didn't watch the game, unfortunately.
It was a shit show. To be fair, it was a shit show. There could have been easily 60 penalties against Indiana in that game for about 610 yards. It was uncalled for. In any other championship game, and we've saw this in the Big 12 and the SEC,
Who
ACC.
were the officiating crew?
I don't know. I don't remember. But they said that they were going to let him play. There's a difference between letting them play and an offensive lineman ripping a defensive lineman to the ground by his jersey. That is a holding penalty all day long. I don't care what sport you play in. It's a fucking holding penalty. And it's disgusting that Indiana relies on cheap tactics. Almost every single one of those holding calls would have been a sack against the quarterback. Almost every single one of them. And
Oh, they were Big Ten refs. I thought they normally didn't do that.
I think the college football, or I think the conferences themselves should subcontract out to other conferences for conference championship games to delete favoritism. Thoughts?
I agree. I think they need to have some sort of separate.
I think the Big Ten could officiate
Panel.
for the Big 12, the Big 12 for the Big 10,
Yeah.
ACC, SEC for ACC, and then you just switch every other year. Like the Big 12 will then go to the ACC would go to the Big 10, and it's not hard. It's not rocket science. So, with that being said, Ohio State does fall to Indiana 13-10. Do I agree with the outcome? It could have gone either way.
I feel like we
Did
should
all
have
the
made
penalties
that field
help?
goal.
Yeah, did the penalties help? Absolutely not. I'm going to tell you right now, if that was Alabama on the field and one of the Alabama defensive linemen were being held like that every single play under Nick Saban would have had that guy's ass. So, moving on, because I don't want to spend any more time on this topic than I really have to. Let's talk about the college football playoff bracket.
Now, we kind of knew going into this that probably the winner and the loser of the Big Ten championship was probably going to be 1 and 2 respectively. And I believe that they are. At least that's what I saw. And honestly, from the bracket, we'll get into it.
So we're going to get into it now.
I probably wouldn't want to be the number 1 team
I wouldn't.
because
I wouldn't at all.
you got a fucking mollywop of your first opponent's going to be some big school from the SEC.
So the 4 teams that have the bye are number 1, Indiana, number 2, Ohio State, number 3, Georgia, and number 4, Texas Tech. I can't disagree.
I'm okay with those.
This is where I kind of start getting in disagreement. They have Oregon at 5.
Oregon was
I guess I'm okay with Oregon at 5.
Oregon was 5.
I'm okay with Ole Miss at 6. I am not okay with Texas A&M at 7.
No.
At number 8, you got Oklahoma. At number 9, you have Alabama. At number 10, you have Miami. At number 11, you have Tulane. And at number 12, you have James Madison.
I'm okay with one of those schools, like Tulane being in there.
I'm not. They got blown out by Ole Miss, and that's their first game. That's their first playoff game that they're going to be in is against Ole Miss, who just beat them in the middle of the year by 40 points.
But wouldn't it be the funniest thing?
I don't think it's going to.
Didn't they beat USC in comeback fashion like 4 years ago in
Yeah, but that's you're talking.
like the Cotton Bowl?
Yeah, but you're talking apples and oranges now.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to predict the winners now. You let me know what you think. Number 12, James Madison has to go up to Eugene and play at Autzen Stadium. I got Oregon 42, James Madison 3.
It's probably pretty accurate. It's kind of disingenuous or advantageous, I guess. I don't know the word I'm looking for here. To be that group of 5 school.
100%.
It's like, yes, it's cool for that school because now they're going to get, they're going to get that bonus. All those players are going to get a little bit extra NIL money. It's good for the program. But you're going to fucking Oregon.
Yeah. It's not an easy place to play, man.
And you're going all the way from Virginia.
East Coast teams have not fared well on the West Coast.
Same thing with West Coast teams on the East Coast.
Yeah, that's fair. And then we got number 11, Tulane, taking on number 6, Ole Miss. I just called it. Give me Ole Miss 35, Tulane 10.
I think it's going to be a smidge bit closer than that, just because these kids are going to they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. You know, they're going to be like, hey, no one thinks you're going to win here. This could be your last game for all your seniors, some of your juniors that are good enough, you know, like, lay it out on the field. You know, it's gonna be an emotional game for some of these group of 5 schools like James Madison and Tulane. So do I think they're gonna win? Probably not. Is there a chance in my mind? Yes. That being said, I'm still gonna pick Ole Miss.
Okay. Then next we got number 10, Miami, going down to Texas A&M.
Give me Texas A&M. I don't think Miami deserved to be in the playoff.
I'm kind of right there with you. Home of the 12th man.
Their losses are not good losses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Texas A&M lost what, 1 game to
Texas.
Yeah, to Texas. I'm just happy Texas isn't in it.
And then at that point, we have Oregon going up against Texas Tech.
Did we skip Alabama or Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah, we did. Then number 9, Alabama goes to number 8, Oklahoma. Number 8, Oklahoma just went down to Tuscaloosa about a month ago.
And they beat them.
And beat Alabama in their own backyard.
This one's going to be in Norman, right?
Yeah, and if you go back to the previous year, last year, where Alabama had to travel to Oklahoma and then took that gigantic loss, they literally kept them out of the playoff. Then Oklahoma goes down to Alabama and beats them this year.
Maybe Oklahoma's better than we thought they were.
Do Boomer Sooner keep it up?
I think they do. But anytime Alabama loses, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So, sorry if you're an Alabama fan.
I got Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma 35 to Alabama's 27.
I think that's a fair score. I probably have it being a little lower scoring in my mind. I'm going to say like 28 to 24. I think it comes down to like the last possession.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something about just, although you can't really ever count Alabama out, unfortunately, in the playoffs. It's kind of like Ohio State, you know, like if they're in it, they're in it. They're in it for a reason.
Yep.
Even though this year feels like they should have missed, but what am I to say? I'm just a hater.
Then we have number 5, Oregon, going up against number 4, Texas Tech.
And where's that game at? Does it say?
That is the Capital One Orange Bowl.
So you got an East Coast team going to the South Coast.
Well, no, it'll be Oregon and Texas Tech. Those are both kind of West Coast teams. Texas and
Texas
Oregon.
is closer to Miami than
Oregon travels. Oregon travels.
Yeah. I
think this is a 1-point ball game.
I think this game is close.
I think this comes down to a 2-point conversion. I think Dan Lanning's going to go for 2, and he's not going to get it, and that's going to be the deciding factor. You know how he likes to go for 2 on the very first touchdown. I think that's the deciding factor.
So is it 2 years in a row that Oregon gets beat in the second round of the playoffs?
I don't know. Everything in my gut's telling me to go Oregon. But what I have seen from Texas Tech this year makes me think that if there was a Big 12 team that was going to win the national championship this year, it's Texas Tech.
There's only ever been one Big 12 team to make it to the championship in the current college football playoff.
Oklahoma?
Nope. TCU.
Oklahoma made it, and
Nope.
they played LSU.
In the current college football.
Oh, in the 12-team playoff?
And no, like even the 4-team playoff.
No, Oklahoma got beat by LSU in the national championship game.
Oh, well, they said it was the first ever.
Yeah, they lied.
But TCU, when they got the national championship that year, was definitely Ohio State and Georgia. Came down to that botched field goal at the end. Hmm.
63-28.
Yeah.
That was Jalen Hurts' senior year. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I got. Man, it's hard. It's a 1 point ball game. Either way, flip a coin. Let's go with the winner of the Alabama-Oklahoma game. Looks like it's gonna be Oklahoma. Now we got Oklahoma playing number 1 Indiana in the Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl is not indicative of the number 1 team winning these last few years.
It is not. You are absolutely correct.
And as much as I've been rooting for the Hoosiers this year, they're the only undefeated team in the nation.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to be an Indiana team playing an Oklahoma team. That being said, give me Indiana, but I think it's going to be a ugly game.
Kind of like the Big Ten championship game.
Kind of like the Big Ten championship team.
Okay. And then at that point, we have a rematch of a regular season game between Ole Miss and Georgia
At the Sugar Bowl,
in the Sugar Bowl.
which is in Georgia.
No, the Sugar Bowl is in
Is it New Orleans?
Louisiana. I think it's in New Orleans.
I'm thinking the Peach Bowl, my bad.
Yeah, that's in Georgia. So,
Give me Georgia.
their coach leaves. I think they rally and beat Georgia to spite Lane Kiffin. Would that not be
Very serendipitous.
just the ice cream on top of the apple pie?
Wouldn't it be just the funniest thing?
Well, you look at Alabama and Georgia in that last game. Alabama couldn't stop a leaky faucet, man. Like, if I gave them the wrench and the directions, they still couldn't have stopped the leak.
Give me Georgia, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're right, Remy. Putting them in someone else is screwing with their money and TV ratings. You're not wrong. What do you think about the NCAA retaliating against schools refusing to play in the respective bowl game? Hey, dude, we're going to get to that. I promise you, we are going to get to that here shortly. After we get through this right here, we are going to talk about the bowl games and stuff. We are definitely going to be doing that. Give me Ole Miss. Just because. Just give me Ole Miss.
I can dig it.
Okay. And then we got the winner of the Miami Texas A&M. I have Texas A&M.
I do too.
Going. So that means that Texas A&M gets to play 2 home games in a row.
Because the next one's in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
But where is Texas A&M? It's in College Station, but where is that?
College Station. It's a town.
But like, what's it next to?
Waco?
That's Baylor.
Oh, that is Baylor. You're right. I don't know. Look it up. But I got Texas A&M, Ohio State. I got Ohio State beating Texas A&M to go to the Fiesta Bowl. And then I got Ole Miss, Ohio State.
It's kind of close to Houston,
Okay.
which means they go up to Dallas, but give me Ohio State.
So that means it's Ohio State and Georgia and Indiana and Texas Tech. So give me your prediction between Indiana and Texas Tech.
Give me Texas Tech. That team's dangerous.
I think it's going to be Indiana. So I have Ole Miss, Ohio State. You have Georgia, Ohio State. Who do you think?
I think regardless, they give me Ohio State. If it's Ole Miss, definitely give me Ohio State. If it's Georgia, it's going to be close, but still give me Ohio State.
All right, then in my national championship view, we have Ohio State and Indiana playing in the national title. I got Ohio State, and Jacob has Texas Tech and Ohio State playing in the national title. What is your score prediction?
8,000 to 6.
I don't think that's not how that works.
What were you saying? Sorry.
Score prediction, national championship game. You have Texas Tech and Ohio State. I have Ohio State and Indiana.
You want a rematch of the Big Ten championship?
I think it's going to be.
For mine, Texas Tech and Ohio State. I think last time Ohio State played a Texas game, it was pretty close.
14-7.
14-7. Give me this if that's how the cards fall. Give me Ohio State 35, Texas Tech 20.
All right. So let's get into teams that have declined a bowl game.
I saw one last night and I was just scratching my head because they weren't bowl eligible.
Oh yeah, we'll get into this. So Notre Dame kicks off Sunday.
It's at the bottom.
Huh?
It's at the bottom.
Yeah. Notre Dame kicks off bowl season by telling the College Football Playoff Committee to go fuck themselves. In Notre Dame fashion, they were invited to play BYU. Give me 1 second, Emery. We'll get to that question in a second. Notre Dame tells the College Football Playoff Committee if we can't get in when we have better resume than Miami, even though they have the head-to-head win, we're going to take our ball and go home, and we'll see you next year.
If I'm going to argue for the committee not putting Notre Dame in,
Then they shouldn't put Alabama in.
they shouldn't put Alabama in. But if I was going to argue for them not to put it in, is that they lost their first two games to their only two ranked, other than Pitt, only two big ranked matchups of the year. And then they play basically a group of 5 schedule the rest of the year.
Who, Notre Dame?
Notre Dame, except for random
Well,
ACC schools.
they played USC. They play Stanford because they're rivalry games.
Oh,
They
yeah.
play Michigan State. That's a rivalry game. They play, and then you go into the ACC schedule where they play Boston College, which is a rivalry game.
Which is not really a game.
Yeah. But yeah, I get 100% what you're saying.
It's like, I think...
Join a fucking
Yeah,
conference.
join a conference. If you're Notre Dame, I'm sorry. Join a conference. ACC, Big 12, Big 10. Probably be the Big 10 or the ACC. Join a conference and quit your bitching. Should go play your fucking bowl game. And that's what I'm going to say to all these schools. Just, play your bowl game.
So here are the rest of the 9 teams that declined to go to a bowl game. Kansas State,
It was 6-6.
Iowa State,
Iowa State should have played a bowl game. I guess I've heard they're getting fined a fuck ton of money.
$500,000 being fined to both Iowa State and Kansas State.
From the Big 12.
Auburn,
Was Auburn even good?
Well, they almost beat Alabama.
With like 7-5?
Yeah, something like that. They're bowl eligible. Florida State.
Didn't think they were bowl eligible.
No, they weren't. They gave up the 5-7 Florida State. You want to go to a bowl game?
One piece candy.
Yeah, one piece of candy. Florida State said get fucked. UCF said go get fucked. They denied to go to their bowl game. So did Rutgers. Rutgers said, yeah, no thanks. Temple.
Did you skip one again?
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that one in a minute. Temple says, no, we're good. And then KU says, no, we're good.
Don't want your pity bowl bid.
Yeah. The thing about this is there are 5 Big 12 teams on here that
you skipped one.
Yeah. We're going to get to this one right now. Baylor. Bubba, I don't think you have the means to pay a $500,000 fine because you can't even pay your players. So if that $500,000 fine goes to Baylor, it might be over for the NIL monies. Baylor hasn't been good since what, RG3?
They had a random few seasons where they were like...
I said good.
Good, yeah. They have been
Not
good.
mediocre. I said good. Like 10-win seasons, 11-win
It'd be really
seasons.
funny if they offered Oklahoma State a bowl game. Like, hey, do you want to go play in a bowl game?
Weren't they like 4-8?
No, they were like 1-11.
1-11. No.
Because
Hey,
they lost to Tulsa.
Do you want to go play Temple in a bowl game? No thanks.
Okay, he was like,
So-
we'll play them. We'll play them.
Getting back to Remy's question right here. Says, what do you think about the NCAA can do to retaliate against schools refusing to play their respective bowl games? So, you don't have to pay the fine. I'll just be out there honest with you right now. You don't have to pay the fine. What's the NCAA going to do? Say that you're bowl banned? Okay. We're not playing in a bowl game this year. And it's funny that they're trying to because the Big 12, the Big 10, the SEC, and the ACC are all contractually obligated to send X number of schools for bowl games. And under that format, it's you don't have to go. Like you don't. You don't have to go play for a national title. Ohio State doesn't have to play in the college football playoff. They can be like, "Nah, we're done. Our season's done. We don't want to play anymore."
Now, will they do that?
Probably not. Probably not. And then going to Emery's question, if you're on the playoff committee, what holds more weight? Ohio State's loss this week or their wins earlier this season? I think their wins earlier this season. We all knew that it was Ohio State, Indiana as the two best teams in the country throughout the entire year. It wasn't like, oh, Indiana came out of nowhere. And everybody forgets this. Indiana was a playoff team last year.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they
got
lost to
embarrassed.
Notre Dame, but they were still a playoff team last year. And then what Kurt Signetti has done in Indiana in 2 years, taking them to the playoffs 2 years in a row after becoming the head coach at Indiana. Hats off to you. Hats off to you, sir.
Also, if you look at the fact that Indiana doesn't have like very good recruiting numbers,
Yeah, they don't. They do. They do coming in 2026.
they do next year.
Yep.
But like they have a bunch of like group of 5 transfers. They have a lot of 3.
Would you like to know a statistic?
lay it on me?
Indiana has the most losses in football than any other school out there.
Really?
Yeah. 738 losses. Shocked the shit out of me. Buckeyes didn't lose to anyone they weren't supposed to lose to. I felt the loss at that school up north last season held more weight than the loss to India. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they came in pissed.
Yeah, they did. They did, and they won, 16 games in a row? Going into the Big Ten championship game?
Well, 12, yeah, 16.
Yeah, this won 16 games in a row. Played at some of the toughest venues. Like, it's not easy to go to Washington and get a win. Like, it's not easy to go to the Big House and get a win. I understand we played most of our hard games this year in the shoe, but we still had to go on the road. We had to go to the West Coast, and then next year we have to go to Texas. Like, we are setting ourselves up every year to play in the national championship. Being an objective OSU fan, I honestly felt Texas A&M should have been number one over OSU all season because of the strength schedule. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's the fashion of way you win. If you're to sit there and tell me that's letting South Carolina go up 27-3 against you, if you tell me that and they should still be the number one team in the country and they come back and win by 1 point, come on now, come on, Remy.
I still was pissed off from the beginning of the season where it was Texas 1, Penn State 2, Ohio State 3. And I'm like, you should rank going into the season, and I'm pretty sure we talked about this a lot. Going into the season, the defending national champion should be number 1.
Yeah.
You should be number 1.
Everybody says it. You should be number 1 until somebody beats you.
I don't care if you lost your entire roster.
Yeah. You're still number 1. You're still the defending champs.
You're still the national champions.
And I think Ohio State took disrespect to that when they ranked Texas over Ohio State as number 1 and number 2.
And Penn State.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Penn State.
Yeah, because it was 1 Texas, 2 Penn State, 3 Ohio State.
Yeah. And it's okay to take personal offense to that because then you just beat everybody and continue your run. Now, and I'm not trying to pick on you or anything, Remy, but their strength of schedule is pretty good. But everybody Ohio State played was held to less than 8 points, except Illinois and
Michigan.
No, Michigan scored 9. Well,
It's less than 8.
Right,
That's
but
more than
with
8.
their average, like
In Indiana.
like they held their opponents to way less points than what they were scoring. They held the highest scoring offense in college football in Indiana to 13 points. Like, come on, they're used to scoring 40 and 50 points a game. They scored 13 against Ohio State. And that's why I have them predicted for Ohio State and Indiana to go into the national championship game. It's going to be a rematch. It's going to be a bloodbath. I think both teams are just going to let everything loose. You're going to see balls thrown down the field 40, 50, 60 yards. You're going to see Surratt for Indiana get probably 150, 200 yards receiving, and then insert Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith here having $150 apiece. I think that they just absolutely throw this game and just lob it up. Jeremiah Smith at the end of that game, the very last pass play of the game, was a 60-yard catch. He had 5 people right there. So,
Whoops. I think as long as you have Jeremiah Smith.
well, you got it for one more year at least. So, I want to get into this.
We're getting into this. I feel like I know what this is. That's Dan's chicken scratch.
That is Dan's chicken scratch. That is correct. So we're going to talk about some coaching changes. First off, we got Lane Kiffin
Bitch.
moving on from Ole Miss to LSU.
Big bitch.
Yeah, big bitch on campus.
That's a huge bitch.
And then you got Pete Golding.
Who?
Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss, has been promoted to head coach.
Oh, cool. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Pete Golding. John Summerall, the head coach of Tulane, moves on to the Florida Gators. Alex Golish, the head coach for South Florida, moves to Auburn.
His last name sounds like a delicious food.
Yeah.
Goulash.
Goulash. Ryan Silverfield, that's a hell of a name. Ryan Silverfield, head coach of Memphis, takes a trek over to Arkansas.
Arkansas.
AR Kansas. Will Stein, the offensive coordinator for Oregon, moves to Kentucky.
Wasn't that the guy that was on the Red Eyes commercial?
That might be.
Wasn't it, he's like, he's like, Bueller. I don't think that's Ben Stein.
That's Ben Stein, for sure. Then you got Matt Campbell, head coach of Iowa State, going to Penn State. Give me your thoughts on that. Iowa State's been good.
Iowa State's been good, and Penn State has been good up until this year.
Do you think he can roll over that success from Iowa State to Penn State? What if he brings some of his players with him?
If there's one thing you know about Iowa football is that offense is not a thing. Even Iowa State football, offense is basically non-existent.
Yeah.
They're not winning games like Texas Tech 55-7.
There's very, very few games out there that it's a little like, we scored 50 points. Yeah, we scored 48. You know, I understand what you're saying. But Penn State's never been that team either.
I just don't. Is it going to be an upgrade from whatever they had this year? Probably. More than likely.
Anything is better than losing to a one-win UCLA team.
No, it was a no-win.
Oh, no win. I'm sorry. No win UCLA team. Anything's better than that.
I guess good for chasing the bag. But fucking Penn State? Really?
Jimmy Rogers, the head coach of Washington State, takes Matt Campbell's spot at Iowa State.
You got to know when to hold them.
You got to know when to fold them.
Know when to walk away.
Then fucking Matt Campbell needs to run. And then we got James Franklin, the coach used to be the coach at Penn State.
What is that one?
Goes to Virginia Tech.
Does it say volunteer assistant?
We'll get to that in a minute.
We've already talked about George Franklin. Jesus Christ.
James Franklin.
Falling apart.
Your fault. This podcast is taking a dive real fast.
Oh, shit.
So you got James Franklin, former team was Penn State, going to Virginia Tech. Then, a name that people have not heard in a very, very long time. Pat Fitzgerald. They brought him up from a volunteer assistant at Loyola Academy, and he used to be the head coach at Northwestern. They bring him to Michigan State.
Sure.
Anything's better than what they had there. Right?
It's a thing.
It is a thing. Eric Morris goes from North Texas to Oklahoma State.
That's a downgrade. That's a downgrade. You should have stayed at North Texas. I know it's Big 12 money, but Oklahoma State sucks. You ever been to Oklahoma? There's nothing there.
He said, you took a head coaching job where your gift basket has a fucking bag of shit in it.
It's just a turd basket. and the only good thing that's come out of Quick Trip, Oklahoma is probably Quick Trip.
Okay. Prost. All right. Then we have Bob Chesney, head coach at
Cousin of Kitty's, is he? I don't know.
James Madison University, going to UCLA.
Also downgrade.
But can he turn him around? Come on. James Madison was not a good team 5 years ago.
James Madison also 5 years ago wasn't in power, the big boy conference.
Hey, the sunshine shines on a dog's ass every once in a while.
Are you saying that because they're the Bulldogs?
I don't like what you're insinuating here. And James Madison are the Dukes.
Which their mascot is a bulldog. I guess is sunshine gonna shine on a bear's ass now?
If it's in the woods.
Because they're the Bruins and technically it's a bear?
Yeah. Fair. I think Eric Morris can turn
Let's
UCLA
talk about
around.
Stupid mascot names. A fucking Bruin is a bear. Who the hell calls a bear a Bruin?
people in California.
Boston Bruins are
People in
also
Boston.
a bear.
People in Boston. I don't fucking know. Then we got Tavita Pritchard. He was the quarterback coach for the Washington Commanders, and he is going to Stanford.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
All right.
It'd be like if you tell RG3 is now the head coach of Baylor. Be like, oh, yes, makes sense. Yes, they will win exactly 4 games.
Colin Klein.
And he'll blow out his ACL again. It's really weird.
That's really weird to say. Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, goes to Kansas State.
They be like the Kleins in K-State. They had a coach Klein for fucking ever.
Yeah. It's like fucking 25 years or some shit.
I'm pretty sure that's what their stadium's named after. It's named after their coach, Coach Klein.
Oh, okay. And then Josh Lapoy, defensive coordinator from Oregon, goes to Cal. Now, we're going to talk about this real fast because that means Oregon has now lost both their offensive and defensive coordinators for next year.
I feel like that's happened again recently. At another O school.
Can he turn Cal around? They did have that big win against SMU.
What's up with the California schools having bears as a mascot?
And bears on their flag.
Let's talk about Missouri having bears on their flag.
I've seen a bear in Missouri.
Where? The zoo? You just see a bear walking around in Raytown, you're just like, yeah, it's normal. Just look big. Just look big. They'll fuck off.
I can't even with you right now.
This is what you get when you get a freshly woken up Jacob.
All right.
Sarcasm!
Jamarcus Shepard, the assistant head coach and co-offensive coordinator of Alabama, goes to Oregon State.
He was a terrible quarterback for the Raiders.
That was Jamarcus Russell.
Still a bad quarterback for the Raiders.
Yeah, you're right. Brian Hartline, offensive coordinator of Ohio State, goes down to South Florida.
Didn't he go to Ohio State?
Yeah, he went to Ohio State, played at Ohio State, coached for Ohio State, played in the NFL. I think he played for the Colts, didn't he?
Maybe.
While you look that up, I will do the next one. Jim Mora, head coach at UConn, goes to Colorado State. I think that's a downgrade. I think he could have... Yeah, you're right, Remy. As long as the safety doesn't friggin' slip
Played
and fall.
for the Dolphins.
Played for the Dolphins? That was close.
That's not even close.
That's a little close.
And he was our offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach.
Brian Hartline. Yeah, that's what I just said.
I guess he played for the Browns, too.
Gross. Nobody wants to play for the Browns. Then you got Billy Napier, head coach at South Florida, going to JMU. Can I ask why you would go from South Florida to JMU?
One of those is a playoff team.
I need another answer.
James Madison has only lost 3 or 4 games since they've, maybe a little bit more than that, since they've joined the FBS level.
Okay.
They have the highest winning percentage for any school.
I could do that if I was playing the School for the Blind too.
I mean, my question, I'm going to raise you a question to your question. Do you think that some of these schools, like the Tulane, the James Madison, do you think that they're due for a call up?
I'm gonna get to that in a little bit later in the show because I want to actually talk about.
I got a proposition that I'm going to say.
Well, I don't. What are you offering?
Well, I'm not offering anything. I'm saying, I got lotion here.
Whoa.
He said don't bring it out. My hands are dry. Leave me alone. They're still dry. No, but I think that if your team like some of these group of 5 schools, I think it'd make it funny. Say you are a school from the Mountain West Conference, but they're getting ready to go bye-bye anyway, or like the Sun Belt or something like that, and you win your conference. Let's say you go 11-1. You win your conference, you make it to the college football playoff. You should change a school and a Power 5 school, Power 4 school. Like let's say Tulane, they do what they did. They take over in the Big 12 for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State gets knocked down.
You want soccer rules.
Is that a soccer rule?
Yeah, so like in the Champions League or whatever, the Premier League, if you are like the last place, you can get demoted down and a team can get promoted to
Why
the
not?
Premier League. I'll get to that. Then you got Neil Brown, assistant head coach at Texas and the head coach of West Virginia, going to North Texas. I think that's actually a really good fit for Neil Brown. Then you got Alex Mortensen, UAB interim head coach, was retained by UAB as their head coach for next year. Same with Mark Carney at Kent State. He was promoted as interim head coach at Kent State, and he has been retained. Josh Candle goes from Toledo to UConn. And these are the teams that still have yet to name a head coach. Washington State. Memphis is trying to get Southern Mississippi head coach Charles Huff. And Coastal Carolina fired Tim Beck, and they have no solution. So I want to move the conversation over to the college football playoff. So it has been made abundantly clear to us that the college football playoff committee does not intend to put the... Is there a possibility that Indiana could be knocked off early, or if they play another team, Alabama or Oklahoma? Probably not. Probably not. I think they're a pretty good solid lock going into the national championship. So the College Football Playoff Committee has made it abundantly clear that they just don't give a shit anymore. And they're probably going to move it to a 16-team playoff next year.
Let's just add more schools. Like just
No. Hear me out, right?
let's make the whole season
I can
a
fix
playoff bracket.
I can fix the entirety of the college football playoff right now. And it revolves around, in your conference, you play 8 games. In your conference. Starting week 1, you play 8 games. Okay? Then, in week 9, the college football playoff starts.
No cupcake teams, no.
Nope. No cupcake teams. You don't get to... No. You go from week 1, a conference game, to week 8, a conference game. And then in week 9, you start the playoff team, the playoff.
No,
That
no
means
championships or anything.
No championships. And I'm going to get to championships here in a minute. So, you play up until week 8. Week 9, the playoff starts. You're put into a pool. Top 16 teams. The top 16 teams that are ranked 1 through 16. 16 plays 1. 15 plays 2.
So on and so forth.
And so on and so forth, all the way down. Just like they do in March Madness. Okay?
Well, that's a little different because they have a 64 team playoff.
Right.
68 now.
Right. But it's the Sweet 16, right?
But that's the 16 best best remaining.
Isn't that what we're striving for?
Yeah, but sometimes there's upsets, and I think that's why people like that.
You don't think there's not going to be an upset where Vanderbilt plays Indiana? You know what I mean? Because that's almost what it would be if you went to a 16-team playoff right now and we started this back in the day. because they're ranked 14th or 15th. So you move through November, and by the end of November, you're going to know what the top 8 are. After that, you're going to get games in December. You can start them at the middle of December and end them by the 27th or 28th, which puts even if you or if you extended the season by a week in the beginning, so instead of starting at the last week of August, you start in the third week of August, you can play the national championship game on New Year's Day. And the national championship game should be the Rose Bowl. It should not be any other bowl. I've seen something about it being a revenge sweep because they could possibly beat Georgia and then Indiana in the final or in the finale. Who could be a challenge for Ohio State? Georgia. That's the only challenge in the bracket right now for Ohio State is Georgia. So looking at it like that, you can still have the bowl games. The bowl games are played in the college football playoff. Nothing is, and you got to think about it like this. Those teams are not going to say we're not playing. Number 2, college or conference championships need to be played after the national championship. If you want to play for prestige, play it afterwards. Like the Pro Bowl. It's always played after the Super Bowl, right? No, it's played before.
Used to be after, now it's before.
I think the conference championship should be played maybe.
But the Pro Bowl's also not a game anymore. It's
I
like
know,
a
but
flag
it used
football.
to be. But it used to be.
And they're just like,
So play your conference games at the end of the season, like at the very end of the season. Just maybe first week of February. Give us a really good matchup of like Ohio State, Indiana in February. And I want neutral site. Because Lucas Oil Stadium for Indiana was not a neutral site.
No, that's like an hour away from Bloomington.
Yeah. I think that depending on where everything is there should be a neutral site automatically set. Like going down through the season, at the end, you're like, you know what? Ohio State, Indiana, you are playing in New Orleans.
Well, you got to make it fair for the fans, too, because, you know, you're Big Ten country. You don't have any schools in Louisiana.
Right.
But, like, let's say Ohio State plays Penn State or something in the Big Ten championship. This is hypothetically speaking.
Okay.
You gotta have some sort of neutral site game that's also in like a dome.
Why?
Well, because fans.
So?
You don't want to play in Ohio in February
Why?
because it's gonna be cold as fuck in the snow.
It was negative 20 degrees when they played Tennessee in the college football playoff last year.
It's fair. Why not do them all in like Los Angeles?
Why would you not take the weather, or why would you want to put people under the dome? Let them play in the weather. That's what football's all about, is playing in the weather. I don't understand why more NFL teams don't play in the weather. Like, come on now.
Like a few years ago when the Dolphins played the Chiefs in the playoffs and it was negative fuck you outside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think, you know, that's why Notre Dame didn't want to play their bowl game this year. They were slighted. And I don't think Notre Dame's going to forget that. I really don't. Do I think Notre Dame is one of the best 12 teams in the country? Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Do I think Miami is? Absolutely. Do I think Tulane is?
I think there should only be one group of 5 team, and I honestly think it should be Tulane over James Madison.
So you think Tulane should play Oregon?
Yes. It wouldn't matter. who they play. They're probably not.
Now
going
this
to
gets
win.
me. I love how you said that. This gets me to my next thing. How about you just take the group of 5 and give them a whole playoff for themselves?
Because then everyone's gonna get pissy.
Why?
They're gonna be like, "That's not the national championship." And be like, go down to fucking D2.
I also think so, Remy. I think it's going to be Ohio State, Georgia, and I believe that's going to be in New Orleans? I think that's the Sugar Bowl. Hold on. Yeah, that'll be in the Sugar Bowl. No, it'll be in the Fiesta Bowl. It'll be in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona.
Bowl.
I think Ohio State 100% could play Georgia, but I honestly got Ole Miss. I think that Ole Miss can beat Georgia in a revenge tour because their coach left. I think that they want to prove Lane Kiffin wrong, that they can win a national championship without him. And that would just be like smelling the roses at the end, man. Having Ole Miss beat Georgia after Georgia beat them in the middle of the year. But yeah, I think Ole Miss has a shot. I think they're going to play hungry. I think they're going to play fast. I think they're going to play with anger.
They're gonna be like a toiga.
Like a toiga. This is a different question, but I want thoughts on pro football. Goes international with games in Europe and other places. So why doesn't college football do that? We do. We play in Dublin.
Ireland.
Yeah, we play the first game of the year is in Dublin, Ireland.
I do kind of agree with that.
We had games in Wembley Stadium.
I do kind of agree with that. I think that they should do like.
There's also one of the first games of the year next year. Michigan plays Western Michigan in Germany.
Well, I think the reason that they do it in the NFL more than they do it in college is because college. I would be hard pressed to bet that Ohio State doesn't make more than the Cleveland Browns in revenue a year.
They definitely make more.
Exactly. And the thing is, the reason that the NFL is playing all of these abroad games versus college playing abroad games is because in college,
they're still in school.
they're still in school.
Yeah.
Some of these kids aren't old enough to get a passport yet.
Some of the kids, yeah. Well, with the NIL money, you can afford to get a passport.
I mean, at the
but
school-
What I'm saying is that
The school
know.
would provide regardless. But what's the point in taking out some of your, like, let's say Ohio State and Michigan, they play in Germany. Why would you do that?
What do you mean?
Like, why would you go and play an international game for a rivalry game? It's like this year when Iowa State...
But there's fans all over the world for Ohio State and Michigan.
Did you see the funny thing, though, from the beginning of this year? I don't know if we talked about this. So Iowa State and K-State played in Dublin. Their rivalry is called Farmageddon.
Nice.
There were Iowa State Cyclones flags on the streets of Dublin, and then there was the state of Kansas flag. Because somebody just looked up a Kansas State flag. And I'm not even joking. And they were down the streets of fucking Dublin, Ireland. And there's Iowa State flags, the state of Kansas. And I'm just like, but the reason they do it in the NFL is because they're trying to expand. They're like, hey, what's the most logical thing to expand from, because we only have so many huge cities that can support an NFL team. Like, why not go international? Why not?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, why not have England?
That's a good question. Which two college teams would create the most excitement in an international matchup? Ooh.
Ohio State, Michigan.
Ohio State, Michigan. Ohio State, Texas. Ohio State, Alabama.
Any big...
Washington, Oregon.
No. Maybe in Japan.
Oh, that's fair.
Just because there's already a large population of Japanese people in the Oregon, Washington area. Also California. So maybe USC, Oregon,
USC, Oregon, USC, UCLA.
USC, UCLA, USC, Oregon, any of those in Japan. You got to think about
Notre Dame, USC
Ireland.
in Ireland. Yeah,
Some
Notre
of-
Dame, USC in Ireland. Oh,
Some of these would make way more sense in certain places. Like let's say, let's go north of the border.
Canada.
Let's go Canada. Why not have, Ohio State, Penn State played in Toronto,
I would want it to go a little farther north than Toronto.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Saskatchewan.
Like,
I
Or-
want a
or-
real good snow bowl.
or one that'd be really funny. Have Miami, Florida State play in Canada.
Yeah, Miami, Florida State. They give up a home game and they get to play in the snow.
Or some that make probably way more sense. Have like LSU and Texas play in Mexico City.
That would be dope. Because didn't Kansas City play in Mexico City first game of the year this year?
It was Brazil.
Brazil. I'm sorry, it was Brazil. But yeah, no, having international games is something that I would look forward to if I didn't have to wake up at fucking ass crack of fucking 3:00 in the morning to watch it. Could a playoff
Make
or a
them a
bowl
primetime
game?
game.
Oh, could a playoff or a bowl game ever be played internationally?
I think we should.
I think that we should have playoff games internationally. I think, it's. Tell me right now, I'm going to go through the list. Alabama versus Oklahoma and Germany.
That'd be the funniest thing, just because you'd have the Oklahoma fans and Alabama fans going, "What the fuck did he say about sausages?
Yeah.
What the hell?"
Yeah. I think we should, but they're at that point they're still giving up a home game for the playoff. Because you couldn't do it, I don't think.
But wasn't that make perfect sense for a neutral site game? It's like, hey,
But that would be a bowl game, like that would be like the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, Ohio State playing Texas A&M when Texas A&M gets 2 home games in a row.
well, think about it like this logistically. You got to pay extra for travel.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your fans going, and then you're gonna have people that have no idea what football is, or have a general idea. They're gonna be like, "I know what football is," and they're like, "That ain't football." Also, really weird fun fact here. Thing I think is really funny. English people, Europeans mostly, but mostly the British. They got all uppity when we call it soccer. But they're the ones that called it soccer first. And then they're like, no, it's football now. And they're like, your football is not football. This is football. And they're like, well, this is soccer. This is football. And they go,
Our football's hand egg.
hand, egg. But they named it
Yeah.
soccer.
Would international games help or hurt recruiting? Okay, so we can get into this.
Well,
I think it would help.
you don't
Could
really,
you imagine?
You don't really have, though. That's the thing. And not unless you play in Australia.
Dude, there's a lot of kickers that come from Australia.
Exactly.
So, yeah, why not play in Australia? Why not go down there and play in Australia?
Down under.
Down under there.
I found out apparently I can do. You ever heard of Randy Feltface?
Yeah.
Apparently I can do a really good Randy Feltface. I did an Australian accent, and I was just like, blue is not even a natural color in foodstuffs. It occurs very rarely in nature. And apparently I do a really good one.
That's pretty good. I think it would help. I think getting an international basis for kids coming in to play college football or even any
it
sport,
also-
soccer, like
It also would increase the amount of maybe... Well, you'd have to have the NFL kind of go over first because they have to kind of sort of pave the way to get those fans there. I think if the NFL officially established a team
hold on.
in
no,
London,
I think that's inaccurate. You
Well,
as a
let me
KU fan, if you were living in Spain
yeah,
and KU basketball came to Spain, would you not pay for tickets to that?
I'd go.
So there's a lot of people abroad.
There's a lot of people abroad, but you didn't let me finish.
I'm sorry.
I
I prematurely yelled at you.
I was going somewhere. If you're gonna have college games in these countries that don't have probably like a recognized football like we have in the country, you're gonna get a lot of kids that are like, oh, I'm showing interest in going and playing Ohio State. I'm gonna be I'm like 6'4" and I'm just this big ass Irish guy, Seamus O'Donnell or something.
I don't think there's an Irishman who's ever been 6'4", but okay.
Well, there's probably one out there. It's like Seamus O'Donnell's his name. Seamus McCaffrey. Here, potatoes. Sorry if I just offended all the Irish people. I'm Irish by blood.
Emery, there is 2 windows open for off-season transfers. There is one right after bowl season, and there's one right before summer.
But so what I was getting at though was if the NFL goes over to Europe, say we add 4 more teams, we have one in Germany, one in England, one in like
Russia.
France. No, you don't want to go to Russia.
No, we want to go to Russia.
Like,
France is good.
One like in France, and then like one other international.
Italy.
I was gonna say either Italy or Mexico.
Oh, Mexico's good.
Just because that's kind of already closer to the United States, and it would be less air travel.
Yeah.
But if you have these colleges play in those stadiums after already an NFL team is established, then you might have a higher chance of, hey, you're in England, we have an NFL team. Some of these kids would be like, "Oi, bruv, I want to go play me some footy." Maybe they're going to have these organized high school, or I don't know, they don't call it high school, secondary school in...
Primary.
Is it primary?
Well, yeah, I guess it'd be uni. University.
Like secondary schools, like you have like your high school, college, that kind of thing. You have these other schools that maybe like Oxford or insert random college in Germany here. Maybe they already have an organized football like league, and then they play in their own division. That's them. And you have these NFL teams come in, you have these high schools, these colleges, pee-wee leagues, all this stuff, and they start adopting football as an actual sport as opposed to rugby. Because rugby and football are not the same. They're very close, they're not the same. Would a rugby player probably do well in the NFL? Probably. Would an NFL player probably do well in the rugby? Maybe. Could be. But if you have like high schools or whatever the equivalent is in Europe, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and be wrong. If you have these programs, like let's say some high schools in Europe, they have an organized football team, then you have the opportunity to go play more international games to get these kids to recruit. Wouldn't it just be the funniest thing? Just some English kid from he plays in Alabama. He's a quarterback at Alabama. He's like, "Oh, bro, we came out there in the field and we just slung it all day. And see what happened to him." And everything turns in Australian. All these squares make a circle. That's my argument. I think the NFL needs to get in there first to get this.
What about our soccer teams? So it's already big over there.
Yeah, but what are you gonna get out of soccer? You're gonna get kickers.
Yeah, but you got the MLS Cup.
Yeah, but you're gonna have kickers and punters.
Well, fucking Ohio State needs a kicker.
Yeah. And that's when you recruit them from you're like, "Hey, you want to be a kicker?" "All right, bro, what's a kicker?" "Yeah, just kick this ball."
It goes over the bar, not under.
They're just like, "Oh man, I messed that up. I kicked a 60-yard field goal, but it went under the bar, just in a fucking line."
Doggo wanted to say hi.
Doggo.
You got anything else?
No, that's it. Luna, you got anything?
Sprechen? Okay. And those were a few words from Luna.
I could have said it better myself.
I couldn't have said it better myself either, honey. Go ahead, wrap it up.
All right, that was our conclusion of the conference championship week into the CFP.
Oh, real fast before we wrap this up. This week, Army Navy.
Army Navy.
Army
Who
Navy.
you got?
I got Army,
I got Army.
but I'm biased.
I got Army because I have friends in the Navy, and Navy's bad. It'll probably be Navy. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's gonna be Army.
I think Navy's gonna put belt to ass personally, but
Yeah.
give me Navy. I take back everything I said. Brandon, you're the real one.
Army.
I didn't serve. Okay, I don't have a dog in this horse race.
I got a couple dogs in this horse race. Give me Army 17-13.
Give me Navy 58-7.
Okay, with that.
With that disappointment, we shall now end the podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. If you like this channel, please like the videos. Subscribe if you haven't. If you like this and you think some other people might like this, share it. It's free. It costs you nothing. Join our Discord. It's also free, and no one talks in there.
Oh, good night, Emery.
But again, thank you guys so much for watching. As we wrap up this season,
I think it would be a good time to talk about schedule, though.
Oh, speaking of which, next week we're going to be live on Sunday night.
Sunday night.
My schedule has changed at work.
So it will be Sunday the 14th.
Sunday the 14th as opposed to Monday. So mark calendars, be ready. We got lots to talk about coming up. Actually, there's no games this week other than Army Navy.
Yep. So we might do a little bit of a podcast, maybe talking about a little bit more of the college football playoff next week.
Or
But-
we're going to do some research and we're going to give you fun facts.
Yeah.
Fun facts from college
And then
football.
I think we're going to be off until
Week after Christmas?
the week after Christmas. So we will do a podcast on the 14th, and then we will be off until Sunday the 4th. No,
The 28th.
the 28th. We can be back to the 28th.
Because
The 28th is when
we'll have some bowl games by then to talk about.
we'll
We'll have
also have the
first round.
first round to talk about, because we'll be doing the podcast on the 21st. So, and those games are played on the 20th. So we'll have the James Madison, Oregon, and all that to talk about. So we will be back the
good.
14th, and then the 28th. We will be taking the week off for Christmas to spend with our families. But yeah,
The Zen was kicking.
damn.
But anyways, so if you join the Discord, if we get some more people in there, we can actually talk about our scheduling a little bit more, and we'll post probably 2 hours before. You're like, hey, we're gonna be live this time. Come in, bring your popcorn, tune in for the show, But all that being said, thank you guys again so much for watching. I'm Jacob.
I'm Dan.
Thank you for exiting the huddle. Now break.